Hello students, how are you all? Good evening. Good evening everybody. Good evening. Yusuf, Ishan, Abhay, tomorrow is my test on this chapter. Jayvant Reddy, Nandipati, good evening, good evening. Good evening. Hi, hello everybody. How are you doing? How is your school, lessons, syllabus, exams? Hope you're all doing well. And welcome back to this session. So children, in the last part, in the previous part, we have seen about sexual reproduction, asexual reproduction. So we have seen reproduction in one organism, that is asexual reproduction, how the reproduction takes place in different organisms. So there we have seen the sexual reproduction in plants also. I think we have covered sexual reproduction in plants also. So now today we are going to see the reproduction in human beings. Reproduction in human beings. Today's topic is reproduction in human beings. So under this sexual reproduction in animals, we are studying about humans. Right. So this is a very important topic, and this topic has got connection with the other chapter, that is heredity. And those who are going to biology stream in +1, in class 11 and 12, so for them also this is very important topic, right? So Monday I have an exam on this chapter. Yes, all the best children, those who have exam on this chapter on Monday. So all the best, you will be doing it well. So you can watch our first part also, where I covered about the asexual reproduction and reproduction in plants. So now here we are going to study about reproduction in human beings. Human beings, how do they reproduce? They reproduce sexually. In human beings, the reproduction involves two organisms, one male organism, one female organism. So the male organism has got different type of reproductive organs, and female has got different type of organs. So male reproductive system is different, female reproductive system is different. Now the question is, when the reproductive systems start becoming active, when they become active. Children, you know that our body contains two different type of cells. Okay, our body contains two different type of cells. We are talking about human reproduction. So human body contains two types of cells. Can anyone answer that? What are the two types of cells? Can anyone give me the answer? What are the two different type of cells that we have in our body? So I'll give you a clue. One is vegetative cells or somatic cells. Somatic cells. What are the other type of cells that are present in our body? Shobana, sir, I got 75 out of 80. Thanks. You are most welcome, children. I'm very happy to hear that you are scoring good marks. Okay. So I'm looking for the answer to the question. One type of cells are somatic. What are the other type of cells that we have in our body? The other type of cells are, no, it's not prokaryotic, eukaryotic. We have somatic cells, means our hands, our skin, our muscle, our heart, all these are made up of somatic cells. That means cells which contain two sets of chromosomes. There are other type of cells produced in the body which contain only one set of chromosomes. That cells are called as gametes. Okay, gametes. Right. So when these gametes start forming, gametes are the reproductive cells. Okay. So our normal cells are not useful for reproduction. For example, if I take one cell from my skin, can I make this cell into a new organism? No. Vegetative cells or somatic cells are not suitable for reproduction to produce a baby. In case of these animals, humans. So for reproduction, reproductive cells are required, which are called as gametes, which have got only one set of chromosomes. Only one set of chromosomes. And normal cells of our body contain two sets of chromosomes. So our reproductive organs produce gametes. Male reproductive organ produce male gamete. Female reproductive organs produce female gametes. Right? Yes, gametes. Now, when does this production of gametes takes place? So in humans, the male gamete is called as sperm. It is called as sperm. And female gamete is called as egg. So in the bodies of females, eggs are produced. In the bodies of males, sperms are produced. So for the production of the eggs and sperms, the bodies should be matured. Right? So when a baby boy is born, the baby boy is not able to produce the gametes from that time. He has to grow up to some age. After coming to some age, in his body some changes starts to happen. That period is called as puberty. What is that called as? Puberty. Puberty is a period in which the bodily changes takes place. So by these changes, a boy becomes into a man, a girl becomes into a woman. These changes, they begin at 11 years and continue up to 19 years, right? 11 to 19 years. And these changes takes place because of the hormone present in our body, okay? But not same hormones both in boys and girls. Boys have different hormone, girls have different hormone, right? I'll tell you. So in the period of this puberty, bodily changes takes place. What kind of bodily changes takes place in boys and girls? Same kind of changes takes place in boys and girls? Of course, some changes are common for both boys and girls. They takes place in the bodies of boys and girls. What are the common changes that takes place during this puberty in boys and girls? So when the boys or girls, they reach some age. In girls 10 to 12 years the puberty begins. In boys 11 to 13 years. In this age the puberty begins. When the puberty begins, some bodily changes takes place. So there are some common changes. For example, growth of muscles, growth of hair on body parts, hands and legs. This is a common change. Hair growth on body parts, hair growth in armpits, growth of hair near the genitals, pubic area. These are common changes. And one more common change is skin becoming oily. More sebum, oil is produced, right? So more oil is produced on the skin. Acne, pimples, acne are observed. These are the common changes. And there is a growth spurt in boys and girls. That is also common. Both the girls and boys, they grow rapidly at this age. Okay. So these are the common changes. Growth of hair on body parts, growth of hair in some parts like armpits and in pubic area, right? So oily skin and sweating with a specific odor, some kind of smell. So all these are the changes that happens during this period. But most of the children, they do not know the signs of their body. They get worried about this. At this age, if they get the pimples, they are worried. If they get sweat smell, they get worried, right? So these changes are very common, natural. These are all happening because of the production of hormones in your bodies. Right, children? Okay. So now common changes are hair growth, oily skin and pimples. But there are some changes which are specific to girls. What are those changes? If you see the changes that happen only in girls is development of breasts. the breasts, they grow in size. Why the breasts grow? Because they contain the mammary glands. Okay, these mammary glands produce milk to feed the baby. Right. So if reproduction takes place, to feed the baby, milk should be given. So menstrual cycle begins. In girls, menstrual cycle begins. So this menstrual cycle happens every month. Right. Release of egg takes place in their bodies. That is also the beginning of puberty. The release of egg, menstrual cycle begins, and breasts increase in size, and their hip also increases in size. The hip bone increases, grows. Okay, that is also for the purpose of reproduction. Whatever the changes are taking place in the body, these changes are related to reproduction. There is a purpose for everything. Okay, so nothing is accidental, nothing is casually happening. Whatever the change that happens in our body, it has got a purpose. There is a purpose for it. So that is what science, you have to understand with that perspective. With that idea, you should study science. Right, children? Okay. So in girls, the bodily changes are taking place because to make their bodies ready for reproduction. And what are the changes that happens in boys? Growth of facial hair. Okay. Mustache and beard, and voice become cracked, bass voice, boy's voice to men voice, harsh voice. Okay, voice breaks and Adam apple, it comes out here, protruded. And the other changes in boys, muscles and bones, they grow, they become more muscular, body become toned. Okay, and what are the other changes in boys? What else? So in boys, we see that their penis become erected. Sometimes the penis become erected, and sometimes ejaculation also takes place. That means release of semen takes place, okay, from their reproductive parts. These things happen in boys. So these are the changes that happen in boys, and these are the changes that happen in girls during puberty. So during the period of puberty, the reproductive systems, they grow and completely get matured. Okay. So girls, breast development and menstruation, boys, voice deepens and facial hair growth. But some other, whatever, here only few points are written, I have explained you many points. Right, what happens in boys and what happens in girls. So these changes prepare the body for reproduction. Why these changes are happening? To prepare our body for reproduction. Right. So next, let us go to the next slide. Yeah. Now let us see male reproductive system. Male reproductive system. What are the different? I'm sorry. What are the different parts of this male reproductive system? Okay, let us begin with this testis. Male reproductive contain some important parts. The most important parts of the male reproductive system are testes. There are a pair of testes. So these testes, they produce the male gametes. Okay. So testes, they produce two things. One, sperms, that means male gametes, and the second thing is testosterone. Testosterone, it is a hormone, it is a male hormone, male reproductive hormone. So testes produce two things, one sperms and the other one is testosterone, right? Testes are present outside the body cavity. This is the body cavity, but the testis is not present inside the body cavity, it is outside the body cavity. Can anyone tell me the answer why they are not present inside the body cavity? Why they are outside the body cavity in a sac called a scrotum? Can anyone give me? Right? What is the answer? See children, the testes are present outside the body in a sac called as scrotal sac or scrotum, because The production of sperms requires some low temperature. If testes are inside the body cavity, inside the body there is high temperature. In that case, sperms cannot be produced. So the testes are outside the body cavity, where the outside temperature is 2 to 3 degrees less than our body temperature. So the testes are located outside the body cavity in a sac called as scrotum. This sac is called as scrotum. How many testes are there? 2. A pair of testes are present. So here the sperms are produced, and whatever the sperms produced, they pass through the tube and they travel through this tube. What is this tube called as? This tube is called as vas deferens. Vas deferens. Okay. Sir, will the testis grow? Yes. Yes. Okay, don't hesitate to ask the questions, children. Don't feel ashamed, because this is science, right? So if you have any doubts, you can type the doubts. Don't worry. Someone just deleted a question. Okay, don't feel shy to ask questions. Don't feel bad for that. Okay, you should know, right? So the testes grow. When they come to puberty, the testis size grows, right, children? So testes become functional. The cells inside the testis become functional and they start producing sperms. The sperms, they pass through the vas deferens. There is a pipe. Now the vas deferens comes to one point, to this junction. Now to the sperms, some fluids are added. What fluids are added? These are the seminal vesicles. See, seminal vesicles. Seminal vesicles add semen to the sperms, some fluid. Again here prostate gland is there. Prostate gland. There will be some more glands called as bulbourethral glands. They are not given here, but here in this picture, seminal vesicle is given, prostate gland is given. So these glands, they give the fluid to the sperms. Sperms are motile. Sperm is motile, means it swims like a fish and it will go. So the sperms, they have to be in the male reproductive system and they should pass out into the female reproductive system. So they have to travel a long way, and sperms are motile. Male gametes are motile. Motile means they move. So for the movement and all, they need energy, they need support. That is given by the fluid. What is the fluid? Semen, produced by seminal vesicle and prostate gland. So the sperms, they mix up with the semen and they come out of the body through this tube. What is this tube? Urethra. Okay, right? So the male gametes are produced in the testis, they come out through urethra. So urethra is the pipe. This pipe is coming out of the body and it is coming through a part called as penis. This is the penis. So inside the penis there is a tube, that is the urethra. Urethra is a common duct for urine and for sperms. It is called as urinogenital duct. Urinogenital duct. Genital duct and urinary duct, both are common. Urethra, right? So urethra is the common duct for both urine and sperms. So in males, there is only one passage, only one outlet for sperms and urine. But in females, it is different. Okay, the outlet for urine and outlet for the passage for the reproductive purpose is different, right? So that is vagina. Vagina is for that entry of the sperm cells and to delivery of the baby. And they have urethra separately for the excretion of urine. That is separate in girls. In women, in men, same urethra, right? So these are the parts, children. Here is the urinary bladder. See, urinary bladder is also connected to urethra. Sperms is also connected to urethra. Any doubts there? Yes, gamer, what's your doubt? You can ask. Yes, you can ask your doubts. You can type your doubts. Any doubts? Any doubts? Okay, so this is about male reproductive system. Sperms travel through vas deferens and mix with the gland fluids. The fluid provide nutrition, helps in transportation of sperms. So you are just typing doubt, but you are not giving out your doubt. What is your doubt? Children, don't hesitate to give out your doubts. Okay, right. Next, female reproductive system. Let us come to female reproductive system. Children, you can ask your doubt. Okay, you can ask your doubt. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Yes. Right. So in the female reproductive system, what are the parts? So this part is vagina. So this vagina is the entry of sperm cells. The sperm cells enter the female reproductive system through the vagina. Why the sperm cell should come to that female reproductive system? Because the fertilization of male gamete and female gamete takes place in the female reproductive system. The baby is formed in the female reproductive system, not in the male reproductive system. The purpose of male reproductive system is to produce the sperms and deposit the sperms into the female reproductive system. So the sperm cells are deposited here in the vagina. From here, the sperm cells, they travel into this bag-like structure called as uterus, which is very important part, that is the womb. Okay, right. So somebody is asking what is the function of prostate gland and seminal vesicles. So in the previous slide, yes, they give the fluids, children. Seminal vesicles and prostate gland, bulbourethral glands, they give the fluids to the semen, to the sperm. So the sperm, it takes all the fluids, and these fluids will give nourishment, nutrition to the sperms. Right? Now, female reproductive system, what are the main organs? Vagina, here the sperms are deposited. Now the sperms, this part is called as cervix. Okay. So the sperms, they travel through the cervix into this uterus. They travel into the uterus. This is uterus. Now here you can see some some hand-like structures, two hands. These are the fallopian tubules or oviduct. Now you see here there are some oval structures. These two are very important structures. They are the ovaries. Ovaries are the main structures which produce egg cell. So in males, what? Testes produce the gametes. In females, ovaries produce the egg cells, female gametes. So ovaries produce female gamete, testes produce male gamete. Okay, right. Now this is the uterus. So the sperm enters the uterus. Now what is the purpose of the sperm? To fertilize. Okay. So any doubts? What is the function of prostate gland and seminal vesicles? Okay, just now I told you these glands, they add the fluids. Right, children? Yeah. So see, children, in +1, if you go to +1, you will see that complete cross section of testis, how the production of spermatogenesis, that is the formation of sperm, and each and every gland, everything will be studied in detail. But for NCERT, that is enough. Okay, right? Right? Okay. So now ovaries, fallopian tubules, uterus, cervix and vagina, these are the main organs. So what are the ovaries? Ovaries are the egg producing organs. Ovaries, so testes produce sperms and testosterone. Ovaries produce egg cells and estrogen. Estrogen is the female hormone. Okay, estrogen is the female hormone. So the ovaries produce eggs and hormones, that is estrogen. Now the fallopian tubes carry the egg to the uterus. So here the ovary releases egg. Here in this picture we can see the ovary releases egg here. The egg is collected by the fallopian tubule. The egg, whatever is produced here, it is collected by the fallopian tubule. And fallopian tubule is the place where the fertilization of the egg and sperm takes place. So at this point, so the sperm has to travel to this place and fuse with the egg. So the fertilization takes place. Once the fertilization takes place, this is the fertilized zygote, the fusion of male and female gamete took place. Now this zygote, it enters into the uterus back, enters into the uterus, and it gets implanted. Implantation takes place means this embryo, it attaches to the wall of the uterus. See children, for this implantation, inside the uterus, the inner wall, you can see this is the lining of the uterus, it is called as endometrium. It is filled with blood vessels and tissues. Okay, right. So for example, when your newborn baby is there, so just to make the newborn baby lie on the bed, you will make the bed so soft with cushioning and all. Like that, the uterus is prepared for the implantation. Okay, right children? So the endometrium means blood vessels and blood tissues are making ready for the implantation. So the embryo get attached to the endometrium, that is the inner lining of uterus. So once the embryo is attached, that process is called as implantation. It is called as implantation. Okay. So once the implantation takes place, right, the embryo, it develops into fetus to baby. So you can see that the baby is connected to this uterus by some special tissue called as placenta. What is that? Placenta. So this placenta, it supplies oxygen and nutrients to the baby. The baby do not eat anything. Okay. For all these 9 months of time, the baby get all the oxygen and nutrients from the mother through this placenta. Placenta is a disc-like structure attached to the wall of the uterus. So the placenta, it provides all the nutrients through the umbilical cord to the baby. Right. So the fertilization occurs in the oviduct children. Children, what is the location of fertilization? Oviduct or fallopian tubule, and the zygote develops into embryo and attached to the uterus lining. This is called as implantation. So the placenta connects mother and baby, transfers oxygen and nutrients, placenta. So this is placenta children, this is placenta and it's connected to the baby. The pregnancy lasts for 9 months. 9 months. What happens after the 9 months? The baby takes birth. How the baby takes birth? The baby, see the position of the baby, this is the uterus and this is the vagina. This part is vagina. So I am highlighting in white color, this part is vagina. So the baby has to come out through the vagina, that is the natural birth. The baby comes out through the vagina, that is the natural birth. Okay. What is the role of placenta in female reproductive system? That is what I am explaining children, you are asking the same doubts. The role of placenta is to supply nutrients to the baby, oxygen and nutrients to the baby. Placenta has got so many blood vessels and blood tissues. There that the exchange of blood takes place from mother to baby. From the mother's blood, oxygen and nutrients are supplied to the baby and wastes from the body of the baby are collected back into mother's blood. That is what happens. Okay, what is implantation? Implantation means fixing of embryo, attachment of embryo to the uterus is called implantation. I told it. Okay, children, follow. So that is natural birth. But sometimes if the mother is not able to give natural birth, they cut the uterus, C-section, they take out the baby. That is cesarean operation. Okay, right. Now let us go to the next one. What happens when the egg is not fertilized? Say children, for example, in this case, in the previous case, the egg is here. There are no sperms. There is no sexual intercourse. So no sperm cells are deposited in the vagina. So here the egg cell is produced, but there are no sperms. There is no entry of sperms. So what happens to the egg? So this egg, it disintegrates. Right, it disintegrates here. Now, inside the uterus, there was some kind of preparation for the pregnancy, for the implantation. So the walls of the uterus, they got ready for the implantation. right? They got ready for the implantation. So what formed here? Blood vessels, blood tissues, all these things are formed for implantation, for the anticipation of implantation. The uterus is ready for implantation, but there is no sperm entry. There is no fertilization. Sometimes even though the sperm enters, it failed to fertilize the egg. So no fertilization took place. Then the egg dissolves. But what about these tissues? Whatever the blood that is formed inside the uterus, all the blood, it gets expelled out of the vagina. The blood gets expelled out of the vagina. Whatever the blood that is formed inside the uterus, it gets expelled out of the uterus. This is called as menstruation. This is called as menstruation. Okay, it is called as menstruation. It lasts for 2 to 8 days. So this flow of blood takes place from 2 to 8 days. This happens every month. So these causes the periods in girls. What are these periods? Means a cyclic change in their uterus. Every month, for every 28 days, this cycle takes place, right? So the uterus becomes ready for the implantation every month. When there is no implantation, all the blood flows out of the body from 2 to 8 days. The flow of blood from the vagina is called as menstrual flow. It repeats every month in females. Okay. But what happens if the fertilization takes place, if implantation takes place? Okay. If implantation takes place, the menstrual cycle stops. First, it stops there till the baby is born. There is no menstrual flow every month once pregnancy is confirmed. Right. After the baby takes birth, again the menstrual cycle begins. Right. Okay. So next. Right children. Next we are going to reproductive health. What is reproductive health? See children, we studied about that puberty. That means our bodies get physically developed or matured at the age of 11 to 19. It doesn't mean that. So when a child reaches some 19 years means or 18 years means if the body is able to produce the reproductive cells means they are not ready for the reproduction. They are not ready to produce babies. They are not ready to for the parenthood. Right. So along with the physical development of the body, mental maturation is also required. Right. Mentally, emotionally, socially, the person should be matured to produce babies. That is for the parenthood. Right. So there are some problems associated with unsafe sexual relations. Sexual relations, sometimes they become unsafe. What are unsafe sexual relations? If a person maintains a sexual relation with a stranger, unknown person, there is a chance of spread of diseases, transmission of diseases. Such diseases are called as sexually transmitted diseases. Okay? Sexually transmitted diseases. So puberty brings physical changes and emotional changes also. So at the early ages, the teenagers are not ready for the parenthood. And by these unsafe sexual practices, some diseases can spread. What are those diseases? Gonorrhea, AIDS, syphilis, viral and bacterial diseases. Okay. So these kind of diseases, there is a chance of spread of these kind of diseases through unsafe sexual practices. I will tell you what is an unsafe sexual practice. So to avoid such kind of diseases, to prevent such kind of diseases, there are some methods. So under these methods, the first one is contraceptive. These contraceptives, they prevent the unwanted pregnancy and diseases. Both are prevented. Unwanted pregnancy, diseases. Right? So unsafe sexual relations may bring some diseases and may lead to unwanted pregnancy also. Right? So under these contraceptive methods, the first one is condoms. Here you can see two. One is the male condom and the other one is the female condom. So what is a condom? It is a rubbery covering. It is a rubbery covering which prevents the release of semen into the female reproductive system during the sexual intercourse. So during sexual intercourse, the sperms, the entry of sperms into the female reproductive system is prevented by this condom. Not only the sperm cells, even germs are also prevented. Okay. So if the condom is used, it will not cause pregnancy. At the same time, it will not allow the germs to enter the body of the next person. So it gives protection from pregnancy as well as diseases, contraceptive method, that is condom. Okay, right children. And second is, so under this contraceptives, the first one is barrier method. Barrier means stop. Barrier means which will stop. So the condoms, they stop. Second one is hormonal pills, they stop ovulation. So if the females, they take the tablet, it is a hormonal tablet, it will not allow the egg to get released. If egg is not released, no fertilization takes place. So there is no chance of pregnancy. So to avoid the pregnancy, these contraceptive pills are used. But do these pills prevent the spread of diseases? Can anyone answer? Do they stop the spread of diseases? Condoms, they prevent the sexually transmitted diseases. But these oral contraceptives, hormonal pills can prevent the pregnancy. But the spread of diseases? No. Very good. So no, diseases may occur. Right children? So next one is IUDs, intrauterine devices like copper T loop. So what is that? This one. They will place this kind of devices in the uterus. They will prevent the fertilization of sperm cells and egg cells. And surgical methods. Surgical methods, children, they are the little bit permanent type of methods. Okay. So we see that when some couple, when they have one baby, so they don't want the second baby, they go to the doctor, we don't want the second baby, so we want to get operated. So the doctor will do the operation for either mother or father. Okay. So if that operation is done for the men, it is called as vasectomy. Vasectomy. So why it is called vasectomy? They cut the vas deferens and they loop it like this. They cut it. So by that the sperms cannot enter into that, okay, this tube. This is called as vasectomy. So it is a surgical method of preventing pregnancy. So if the female want to get that operation done, they cut the fallopian tubules. It is called as tubectomy. 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 Because fallopian tubules are cut. Vasectomy. Vas deferens is cut. Okay. So they cut and loop it. Very good. Vasectomy and tubectomy. These are the surgical methods. So these methods help to prevent the unwanted pregnancy. Right children? And they prevent the spread of sexually transmitted diseases which are called as STDs. Now, so the reproductive health, under this we are seeing the other thing, illegal abortions. What is an abortion? The medical termination of pregnancy. So the pregnancy has started, the fetus is developing, 3rd month, 4th month. If they wanted to stop the pregnancy, there is no other way to stop the pregnancy. Only way is to kill the fetus. To kill the fetus. But it's a very inhumane thing. And sometimes the abortions are not avoidable situations like doctors. So they say that the abortion is a must, they'll do it if it is required. It depends upon the health condition of the person who is carrying the pregnancy. But sometimes some illegal abortions takes place. Why this illegal abortion takes place? In some communities, in some places, they don't want the girl child. So when they go to doctor, they'll do the scanning. In some places, whoever doing the scanning, they will tell this is that girl baby is going to take birth. So then they ask the doctor to do the abortion, kill that baby. In some communities, they feel girl children are a burden. Okay, not in all places, but in some places. So this leads to a problem called as unequal gender ratio. Okay, so that is why government banned this scanning. So the government has given strict instructions to doctors and scanning centers. Prenatal disclosure of sex of fetus is prohibited under law. That means doctors or scanning people should not reveal the sex of the baby, whether girl or boy. If they reveal like that, they will be given punishment. Because If it is a female child, they are doing illegal abortions. So if the population should have good balance of males and females, this kind of things should not be done. Okay, right. So balance is required, but you see the sex ratio in social studies also. You are studying, for every 1,000 males how many girls are there? Less than 1,000 in any of the state you take. So the number of girls is reducing day by day, right? So balanced population and equal gender ratio are essential for healthy society. So overpopulation causes poverty. So overpopulation causes poverty. That is the reason why that family planning operations are done, right? So not producing too many babies causes overpopulation, right? So but inequality worsens living standards more than population size. So the inequality, gender inequality, the sex ratio difference, these are all the problems, right children? So reproductive health is very, very important. So from this part of the lesson, we understood the importance of male reproductive system, female reproductive system, and puberty, the changes that happens in puberty, right? So the puberty, many of the children, they feel something bad about the changes in their bodies. So if some kind of hair forms on the bodies, they feel shy because some mustache and beard forms. Some children, they grow so tall. Some people, they will not get these changes quickly by the age of 13 or 14. So they get worried, why the changes are not happening in my body. It all depends upon genetics, children, genetics and hormones. See, if you see some 10th class, some children will be small, some children will be looking small, and some will be looking so tall. Some will be having a big beard and mustache. Some will not be having even a thin hairline of mustache, right? Is it happening there in your classrooms and all? So even in the girls also, the physical changes takes place at different ages. So children need not worry about this because it all depends upon our genetics. In some people they start so quickly, in some people they start a bit delayed, little late, right? So but these changes, it's all normal, it all depends upon our genetics, right? Because the genes that we get from our fathers, okay, and mother, and it all depends upon the food we eat, everything, there are so many factors. So they need not be worried about this, right? So only thing that you have to do in this teenage is that, so what you have to do? So you should have very good body and very good mind, right? You should be stress free because in this particular puberty, you will get some kind of emotional disturbances, right? So emotional disturbances. So you should be having very good, okay, state of emotions, right? Good mind, good body, happy. You should go and play and you should eat healthy food, right? So you don't worry about your body will be growing so good. You need to eat healthy food, you need to play, you need to give physical exercise, not all the time watching TV or social media or something. So these kind of things, right children? So this is all about the sexual reproduction in human beings. So by this we have completed this chapter. And what chapter you are looking for next from social studies? Do you have? So heredity, someone wants heredity. Definitely from science I will take that heredity. From biology, heredity chapter will start. Dikshit Verma is asking for heredity. Definitely heredity will do metals and non-metals. Yes. Someone else is asking for heredity. Yes, child, the lesson is completed. The lesson is completed. For me also heredity with detail, metals and non-metals also definitely. Okay, I have noted this heredity and metals and non-metals. Very soon I will take the live session or I may post the video on heredity. So heredity definitely I am going to give you some 2 versions of it. A simple version like this and a very detailed video also I am going to make on heredity, because many children will be having a doubt in heredity. So definitely I will do that with doubt clarification. In heredity we will see the question answers also. So heredity, when you do, most probably next week children, most probably next week heredity lesson. Control and coordination, already I have posted 2 or 3 videos. Just please check our channel, you will be finding good videos on control and coordination already, that was done. So doubt in heredity, definitely you can ask your doubts in the heredity session when we start that session. So sexual reproduction in plants, right children, I have covered this, but definitely I will cover your doubts in question answer session. I will make one session for question answers. So then I will cover your doubts. I will make a note of your doubts, whatever the doubts you are posting now, definitely, right? It's almost 7:39. So there is no live class for control and coordination. Okay, definitely we will take this. So one biology lesson we have completed. I think better we do with some metals and non-metals, and after that heredity. Right children? So I need your support children, I need your support, and I need more people coming to the channel, right? So please share our channel link to your friends, please share a word, right? So only then it is possible to post more and more lessons. When the channel is having good traffic, good number of subscribers and viewers, and most of the viewers that come to our channel are not subscribing. So subscriptions are very important. So by that you will get notifications. But we see that very few children are subscribing, right? So I'm ready to post all these lessons, but I need your support, and so please share our channel links or videos to your friends, to your classmates. We need more subscribers and more likes for the videos. I see very few likes. So many people have come to the live, but I see very few likes. Very few likes. So likes are also important children. It decides that how our video goes, and it is recommended, right children? So whenever you come to the sessions, please give a like to the videos and give your comments and all, right children? Hopefully we meet again with some physics chapter, metals and non-metals, definitely. So thank you, keep watching, and you can watch all our animated videos. All chapter animated videos are there except a few lessons from social studies. So all the animated videos are there in this channel. You can watch all those videos, and in that comment section you can post your doubts, right? So thank you very much. Thanks for your love, Ismail. I liked every video I watched. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you children. Nationalism in India, it was already done. Please check our channel. Please check. Yes, social studies, minerals chapter very hard. Okay, definitely we will see social studies. In the coming up weeks we will look into that. Right children? Thank you very much. Good evening. Have a happy weekend. Happy Sunday. Thank you all. Bye.